Hi, folks. This is Neil, and today is Friday, April the 12th, 2013. And this is the second video that I'm making this week. The last video I made, I told you guys about Tuesday night or Monday night. I was actually asleep, and once again awakened out of my sleep by my neighbors upstairs to the magnified sound of their footsteps, which was extremely loud. Now, of course, there are steps leading upstairs right next to my bedroom, which is, the steps upstairs are made of wood, but those footsteps were not coming from the steps. They were coming from directly upstairs, and they were extra loud, amplified. I should say, not magnified, amplified sound. And we all know that in mind control, the amplified sound is used, to create some form of psychic of mental break in victims. So I I had mentioned that I was going to see if I can videotape my neighbors upstairs. So hopefully someone out there that may recognize that maybe there was a tragic incident somewhere that these people have lived, because I think these people seem to move from place to place doing this to folks. And but ever since I mentioned that, I have not seen them. Literally, I have not seen them. I did videotape their license plate, which I'm going to post today after I post this video, hoping that maybe someone in law enforcement who has some kind of experience with this, who have heard many people talk about the psychological harassment, the torturing, the microwave weaponry, that kind of stuff. So I am hoping that someone out there recognize these folks, and probably alert someone to find out exactly what's going on, because they are definitely a part of this. They are definitely perps. So today, I also read a poem for you guys in my last video, so I'm going to read another poem for you guys. And this poem is titled Victim. And I wrote this poem because, a lot of folks that are going through this, you don't really have a release forum. My release forum is the gym. I write sometimes. I do poetry. I might paint sometimes. I love music. I love reading. Then on Tuesday nights, there's a radio show, Nigel N Community Call on TalkShoe, where you can go and listen to advice and videos and articles being read, that kind of stuff, and discuss your experience with other TIs. So that's very healthy, and I think everyone should find something that they love to do as a release from from this type of the frustration from this type of torture and psychological harassment. So this poem, like I said, is titled Victim. So, victim. I am a victim I am. I am to blame. Why? It's simple. You always blame the victim. It's the American way. When bullying is on display 24 hours a day, psychological harassment follows the same pathway. Authorities deny responsibility and refuse to accept accountability. Gravely violated, deprived of life, liberty, property, and subject to criminality. Question the police department. Are they not employed by us? Yet they brutalize, torture, and murder, betraying the public trust. Mind control and gang stalking is on the rise, goes hand in hand with these recent mass murder suicides. Lots of pain and suffering, drowning in a sea of teary eyes, people lobbying Congress for gun law changes. 20 white children die, and America braces on the brink of losing our civil liberties. But what about what happened to drive-by shootings of the 80s and 90s? Drug dealing, crack whores, and crack babies? Why wasn't the president on TV asking the nation to pray? Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. He was a spokesman for the NRA. Gun in hand, wrapped in red, white, and blue, to the people in the ghettos, he lets out a resounding FU. Meanwhile, people's lives are being maliciously destroyed. Schools are closing, prison walls fills the void. The banks accepting cash from the drug cartels, people losing their jobs, big business says go to hell. The pattern is there and can be seen and heard loud and clear. The U.S. Constitution is used to wipe their derriere. Student loans got me working 2 menial jobs, and when I get home, I find out that I've been robbed. I feel tired as shit with no end in sight. Why my life gotta be so rough, man? It's not effing fair. Beaten and downtrodden, I bow my head in despair. I am a victim I am. I am to blame. Why? It's simple. You always blame the victim. It's the American way. So I hope you guys enjoy this poem. You guys can read a few more of my poems on deepundergroundpoetry.com. The Watcher 33. Some of my poems, let me say right now, a little bit on the erotic, sexual nature side. So, but I have other poems that I'm continually writing about other social issues and and other stuff. So I will keep reading some poems to you guys that I've written as time goes by. But so I'm really feeling good this week. Twice a day at the gym for 4 days, and did about 4 hours of cardio this week. So I'm really feeling. Yesterday I did an hour and a half of cardio, and really feeling great about that. Slowly, not seeing any major progress like I should be seeing, especially, like I said, been lifting weights for well over, I would say well over 20 years. And, I've always seen, as you get older, your metabolism slow down. But, there are things that you can do to speed up your metabolism. And that, I know my body pretty well. I know the results I should be getting. I know the time frame that I should be getting those results in. But, when you go through this stuff, when your food is being tampered with, your proteins are being tampered with, it makes it extra difficult. And that's why it drives me to want to continue. And to show you guys that it can be done. Excuse me, there's a bee that just flew into my apartment. And so, just to show you guys that, don't let these people defeat you. I mean, there are times when maybe I may not come online and do a video, just because my week has been hectic, or maybe I just don't feel like doing a video. But sometimes, I'm like, hey, you know what? I have to do this video because I know there are people out there that's going through this situation, and some of them are probably in worse condition than I am. So, I'm going to do my part to try to help other folks, to give them, some kind of motivation, so that they can carry on, battling this stuff. Don't quit, don't give up. This thing is made to isolate you, to make you doubt yourself, lose confidence. To basically destroy you mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and if you're a religious person, spiritually also. So always remember, the 3 things, actually 4 things I always remember to do in the morning is when I wake up, I say in my mind, or sometimes I say out loud, today I am going to live today in peace and harmony, and I will not do anything, whether emotional, physical, psychological, or financial harm to any person. So, when you do this and you get yourself in that kind of mental, you give yourself that kind of mental strength, just to say that, I'm going to be a great person, not a good person, but a great person today, and I'm going to show other people that despite of what I'm going through, I'm not going to let it change who I am, which is a great human being, because human beings are great. We are great. We have done some amazing things throughout history, and some of us have also done some bad things, but I'm not going to let the bad things overshadow the good things that human beings have done. So this is just another step in another trial in our lives as human beings. Not all of us go through this, but the ones that do, I hope to help in motivating and bringing some kind of knowledge and understanding to your situation as it regards to me. Of course, I'm different, so my target is different from you. So you have to learn about your target. And also, what I do, when I wake up, is always eat breakfast. Always eat breakfast, because that is going to help you in terms of your physical and mental state. Remember, your body goes through anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of not eating. If you don't eat, you get cranky, you get tired. Mentally, you can't think straight. So always eat breakfast in the morning. I don't care if you eat a bowl of cereal or some fruit, but just eat something in the morning. That to help give you that energy. And also, what I do is sometimes, I might meditate, but my meditation is kind of different, because I've literally cannot. I don't think many of us have the skill when meditating to make our minds go completely blank. I've tried; it's like nearly impossible. And the person who can never do that, I sure would like to learn from them. So, but just basically slow your thinking process down for about 5 minutes. Nice, easy breathing, and to put you in a calm mood. Kind of discover your nirvana. So these are things that I try to do in the morning, and I might read a couple of pages out of a book that I'm reading. Just to kind of get you ready for the day. So nothing really new in my targeting, except I had to stop taking my creatine because it started having a weird effect. So I think they have basically either switched my creatine with something. So I might have to buy the single pack creatines, the ones that you can it comes like in a plastic tube, or that you can tear and pour, because when you have containers that are open and closing, they can switch your creatine and all that kind of stuff. And I say creatine helps, especially if they're putting myostatin in your water, that kind of stuff, to help shrink your muscles and all that kind of stuff, and stop muscle growth. These are things that they do. Creatine helps to block the process with myostatin. And I think sometimes I feel like I'm giving too much information, because the perps are also learning also, but I can't let that stop me from telling you guys my experiences and my workarounds with what they're doing, because this basically is torture. This is mutilation. When they are changing the physiology of your body without your consent, that is mutilation. I may not have a missing arm or hands or fingers, but it's still mutilation. I've seen, for a pretty healthy guy like me, who who goes to the gym fairly regularly, and I eat lean and clean. So there isn't any reason why that I shouldn't be getting the results that I'm used to getting prior to this targeting, or this level of targeting. Because I've probably been targeted for well over 25 years. When I think back, as a teenager, there were folks out there basically surveilling me. I remember probably when I was about 15, 16, I remember these white men across the street taking photos of me and my friends. and they were always hiding behind a van or a truck. And I would say to my friends, look at this guy, taking photos of us, that kind of thing. But, when I reflect, and and I'll be 42 on April 19th. So when I reflect about all this kind of stuff, that I have been basically, and many of us have been surveilled for many, many years without even knowing it. Sometimes, my memory is great and I can remember some stuff, and I'm like, well, how the heck did I remember that? But it just seems like it's weird. I think that some of the stuff in my life that when I remember, come into play with my targeting. So I always try to keep in mind strange events that have happened to me in the past that I remember. I try to think about the surrounding environment and were there any strange kind of people that I ran into that I've seen that kind of look out of place. So I try to do that. It's hard sometimes, but sometimes, it's fairly easy. So other than that, been great. Actually, guitar lesson went well again. So Bad to the Bone. I've been, really killing that Bad to the Bone thing. So I've learned a new licks. I'm going to practice that over the weekend. Also going to celebrate my birthday week starting from tonight into next week, Saturday. My birthday's actually on the 19th, but I'm going to have a week-long celebratory week, and it starts tonight. So, I'm happy about that. A lot of friends are coming out, and I'm going to celebrate, and then tomorrow night also, and then next Friday and next Saturday, and going to dinner next week with my family and some friends and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, guys, keep taping, keep learning, do whatever you can do. Pay attention to your body, pay attention to the surroundings. Another thing that you guys may have to look out for, because sometimes when they place you under mind control, also, look at how the people around you, look at your surroundings, look at how the people around you act. If when you first come into an environment, people act normal, and then all of a sudden, it's just like they act completely, it's like a 360, like you feel like you're in a twilight zone. So, look at your surroundings, look at the people, look at their behavior, pay attention to that, and that can give you an inkling of whether or not you were probably placed under mind control, or maybe you went to a restaurant, or maybe they put something in your food. And because it's very hard for people, especially when you're doing harm to people and people around you know that these people are doing you harm, it's going to affect them in some way, unless everybody in that surrounding area is a complete psychopath. All right? At that point, they may all smile. You may see them smiling at once or whatever. But, it affects them. It affects them. Because at some point, they got to think, man, if they could do this so easily to this person, to Neil, then I can imagine how easy they can do it to me. And Neil says he's been going through this for probably over 25 years. So imagine how easy they can do this to me. And we all know these people have no loyalty, no respect for human dignity, no conscience, no sense of moral compass. So there's definitely something wrong with these people. I definitely believe they are sociopath and also psychopath. And some of them may well be serial killers. Like, seriously. I mean, you don't have to pull the trigger to be a serial killer. If you manipulate enough people to go out and do killings, then you are a serial killer. This is what you do. It's like a woman who pays her lover to kill her boyfriend, or convince or manipulate her lover to kill, her husband or whatever. He gets thrown in jail and she gets thrown in jail. So it's the same thing with these people. These people are malicious, they're vile, they're heinous, they are insidious kind of folks, very, very wicked. And we need to be careful. We need to stay away from people like that, but at the same time, don't isolate yourself. Go out, do things, have fun. Get on Groupons. For a lot of us who who are being financially strapped in a sense, get Groupon, Living Social, because you can get like, you can pay like $20 for $40 worth of food at a restaurant, $10 for $20 worth of food at a restaurant. There are discount movie tickets, discount basketball tickets. There are discount goods. I've gotten cell phone chargers for like $5, stuff like that on Groupons. They sell all kinds of good food, clothing, accessories, computers, digital tablets, all kinds of stuff. So, it's a good way to save money, and it also helps you, to go out and to be able to afford things. You can go rock climbing or on a wine tour, that kind of stuff. So, get out and do things and be visible so that they don't isolate you and you don't disappear without asking questions. If I'm going to disappear, I'm going to make sure people are missing me. And I suggest you do the same, because, what they fail to realize is that as easy as they can do this to us, somebody can easily do it to them. All right? So always keep that in mind. And even though we are a victim of these crimes, don't be a victim to yourself in your thinking and in your behavior. Okay? So go out, enjoy yourself. Always be careful, though. Always be careful. And try to live without fear. Now, when I say live without fear, I mean don't get yourself into situations where you may get harmed. So always keep in mind your healthy fear. So go out, do things, and and enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Quality of life is important. A lot of us don't really live life. We just simply exist, and that is a shame. When you think about the human capacity, the human will to do great things, and we should not ignore that about ourselves. Give yourself some credit. You guys have made it this far, and I hope that that continues, and I sincerely hope that one day these people will be brought to justice, and we will be able to look these people in the face and put a face and a name to the target and all that kind of stuff. So enjoy the weekend, and I hope you guys enjoy the poem. And also, check out, there's a website that, let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, check out factnet.org for folks who are new, or, keep checking that site, because they're always posting stuff that is very relevant to our target. And also, there's a book called The Invisible Crime by Michael F. Bell. I suggest that you guys read this. Michael F. Bell is a targeted individual who wrote a book about his experiences, and I'll tell you, while reading this book, there are some things in that book that struck really, really close to home. I mean, seriously. And I think it will help if every TI would read this gentleman's book, because it really helps to put things in perspective. Now, there are certain things that I haven't experienced, but there are a lot of things in that book that I have experienced. So on that note, like I said, have a great, great weekend, and until my next video.